Okay, so I'm Angelica, aka Jelly. I run a small rescue service and I take in unwanted rats. I'm getting a chinchilla Tuesday, so I'll probably have an update Tuesday with her. She's 4 years old and her owner can't keep her because she's moving into an apartment and there's a no pet policy. I currently have 5 rats, 3 girls, 2 albinos, 1 black hooded, and then I have 2 boys that are both Dumbos and black hooded, which I'm going to show you. My oldest girl is almost 6 months old, and we do currently believe she's pregnant. So I'm going to show her first so I can get her back in the cage because she's a little weird. You can see my boys moving in their hammock back there. They are quite a handful. They are 3 months old, and then my youngest girl is 2 months old. I was given to her, or she was given to me by someone that said she was too big to be a breeder, and then also told me she was allergic. So I don't know. She's quite skinny because she was being fed table scraps and no rat food or anything healthy, which my girls don't get rat pellets. They despise rat pellets. They will not eat rat pellets. They get Brown's hamster, rat, and mouse food. Which is the best thing for them, I guess. They love it, so that works. Alright, I'm gonna get Snow out. Okay, this is Snow, aka my oldest and also my favorite. As you can see, she's a complete albino, completely white, no markings on her. Her tail's completely pink. Actually, a funny story about her. When I first got Snow home, she was super skittish, and the minute I got her home out of the box, she went straight on my shoulder. I'm gonna go ahead and let her go up there so she's comfortable. She went straight up on my shoulder and just sat there. I had her out for about 3 hours when I first came home, even though they said it wasn't smart. She would literally not come off my shoulder or go in her cage. It's my dog Diesel. He lets the rats crawl on him. He's a really good dog. But Snow, about 2 weeks ago, we have a Dachshund, and my room's off limits for most of our dogs, except the ones who are really good with their rats. And about 2 weeks ago, our Dachshund got in the room, and Snow has this thing where she likes to leave her tail out of the cage. Well, my little mom. Snow's tail tip got bit. I called the vet, talked to the vet, took her to the vet. They said she was fine because the bone wasn't exposed, that it would fall off, and she would be left with a nub. So this is my precious little Snow. She is my oldest and almost 6 months old, and as you can see, her belly is quite big, and she is, of course, smaller due to the fact that when she was, when I got her, I've had her since she was 2 weeks too young when I got her, so she was about a month and a half when I first got her, and babies aren't properly weaned until 5 to 6 months old. Or 5 to 6 weeks old. Brain fart. Due to the fact that I got her so young, she will probably stay small. Improper nutrition. We fed them soy milk, her and Toki both. They got soy infant powdered milk to try to help them, and obviously they made it because they're back here behind me. Alright, so I'm going to go get Toki and show you Toki. This is my little escape artist, Toki. As you can see, she sort of kind of has Dumbo ears. She is a Dumbo. Her mom was a Dumbo and her dad, I don't really know. The pet store only showed me moms. Toki has, just so you can dignify the difference between her and the boys, she has a little, if she'll let me show you, a little black dot right there. And that's how we tell the difference. Toki is 4.5 months old. She's about a month younger than Snow, which we got them at the same time, and the pet store owner was like, oh yeah, they're weaned, I promise they're weaned. And of course they weren't. She has a super long tail. I love her tail. She's so cool. She's my little escape artist. I have a cardboard box that I put up in their play area, and I sit in the middle of the play area so they can get used to me, especially our new girl, Coco, because she's quite skittish. If I can get her out for this video, it'll be really surprising. Other than that, They were both, I consider them rescues because I'm going to put her back up. I consider both of my girls rescues because at the time the pet shop was like, all of our pups are weaned besides the pup that we got. And I was like, well, I want to get 2 girls as pets again. I had pets previously before this. About 3 years ago, my oldest rat, who was hairless, which is really weird for them to live as long as he did. He was 8 years old, and his name was Biggie. He wasn't a true hairless. He was just a hairless rat that they generally sell. He wasn't one of the true Rexes, true hairless Rexes. He was 8 years old when he died. We had 2 girls with him that died when we first moved into this house, and they were both 5, which people apparently are really surprised when we tell them how old our rats live to be. I always assume with proper nutrition and proper handling and giving them the socialization they need with humans, they're gonna live to be that long. Like, an average lifespan is 5 years. Rats can live to be longer than that, of course. I mean, Biggie was 8 when he passed. Of course, it's just in all how you handle them and take care of them. All right, next I'm going to get out Coco. If she'll come. If not, I'm going to move to the boys. Coco is skittish. I've only had her for about a week now. I'm working with her. The other day, I enticed her with popcorn. I actually sit in my hand and eat with popcorn, which is really good. Because when we first got her, it was a struggle to even get her in the quarantine box. Which I didn't quarantine her for long because she was so small and she needed that socialization. And I had a vet check, and she was perfectly healthy, and he said it would be fine to put her in with my girls as long as they accepted her. And of course, if you look back here, you can tell they had no problems accepting her. She's right there, the teeny tiny albino. And I'm going to go ahead and get her for y'all. No escapes. It's going to take a minute. Like I said, she is skittish. Back under the wheel. Alright, I'm going to try to get her from the bottom, and if I can't get her this time, I'm just going to move on to the boys because I don't want to stress her out. Especially with Snow being pregnant. Any stressed out rats in here could cause problems, and I really don't particularly want to move Snow into our breeding, quarantine, and nursing bin unless I have to, which we have 3 different bins that we use. They're plastic clear containers that we put chicken wire over the top of. I'll post out pictures of one of them. Escaping a rat. She's underneath my leg. Hold on. Alright. This is Coco. Coco is not a true albino. She may look it, but if you look at her tail, she does have black splotches on her tail, which means she is not a true albino. Coco is my girl. She came to us. I'm actually quite attached to her already, even though we've only had her for a week. You want to go on my shirt? Yeah. She came to us, like I said, she was too big to be a feeder, according to the lady, and the lady was allergic. She'd been fed table scraps and no rat food, no nutritional value for them, been fed out of a water bowl, which of course is not sanitary, and I don't even know what kind of things she'd been kept in. I wasn't told. When I got her, the lady had the box taped. She didn't have it folded up like you're supposed to, like a PetSmart box or anything. She just had a random box that was duct tape closed with no air ventilation for her. The minute I got her in the car, I opened the box up and looked at her, and she kind of peeked her head up at me. And I kind of looked down at her, and I was like, you're safe. She's been doing really well during playtime. She doesn't try to escape. We did have a little incident earlier with her and Smokey trying to escape, which happens. I've got a rat safe room, though. All they did was climb under my bed. And on my bed, I've got cement block and then a piece of wood, and they were on the wood nearest the wall, so it was really easy to get them. Coco is my little fearless Dumbo. I believe she's a Dumbo. I'm not really sure. I will actually not be breeding her. She is a personal pet. I am considering adopting her out when she has been completely hand-tamed. As you can see right now, with my troubles getting out of her cage, she has not been completely hand-tamed. So she will not be able to go to the right home until I've fattened her up. And since she's only about 2 months old, I am not willing to let her go until she's probably 6 months old, to be honest. Just because I believe she needs more time with humans than she had. And like the lady told me, she was supposed to be a feeder, which means she hasn't had a lot of human interactions. You want to give me a kiss? Huh? She don't like kisses. I'm going to go ahead and put her up because it's stressing her out to be out of the cage. She doesn't mind being handled once you get her out of the cage. Once she's out of the cage, she's completely fine with being handled. Alright, so now we're going to move to my boys. We have Zig and we have Toki. Or Smokey. Toki is my black and white headed girl. They are actually in a modified bird cage. I have zip ties on all the little doors they can get open when they get older. And I'm getting a new cage bottom for this because the cage bottom that's on here fits it, but slides really bad. Alright. My boys like their hammock. They're in their hammock, and I'm going to grab Smokey. This is Smokey. Who are you? YouTube. Video for adoption and parents. This is Smokey. He is one of our boys. He's about 4 months old. He is a Dumbo. I know you can't tell because his ears are laid back. He doesn't really like being handled unless he can sit on your shoulder. He is a black hooded with white spots on his belly, so he could be considered variegated. The reason we can tell him apart from his brother is that white spot right back there, in between that black dot. I'm going to put him up because he is quite not happy with me right now. Magic hat! This is Zig. Zig is my male. He's personally my male. Of course, he is also a black hood with no spots on his belly, so he is a black hood. He has almost a zigzag line down his chin. He's not going to let me show you. If not, if you look at the tip of his tail, it goes from black to pink, which is also how we tell the boys apart. That, and he doesn't have the random dot that his brother does. He's a Dumbo as well. Same age as his brother. We got him from the same place. I'm going to put him up because he's getting irritated with me. At about a month ago is when we got the boys, which is why they're still being hand-tamed. I generally average, unless you breed them, it takes about 4 to 5 months for a rat to get used to you. My boys are amazing. When I have them out, they're content to sit on my shoulder. They don't like exploring unless they're on the ground. Other than that, the only thing else I have to show you is our dogs, which I'm going to do in another video, even though you can see Diesel walking around the cage area. This is actually my room. Back there is where I keep the bedding and the clothing and the extra cages. I have 2 extra cages with a third one and 2 more rats and some babies on the way from a friend of mine that can't take care of them, along with the chinchilla I'm getting tomorrow. Next week I'm getting 2 true hairless Rexes, which we put into my breeding program, but I'm also keeping them as pets, so I'll probably only let them have 2 litters together, because you have to breed true Rexes together in order. That ugly? Shut up. In order for them to be true hairless completely. My next video, I will show you my quarantine bins, because by then I will have rats in quarantine bins. I'll show you my breeding bins and my nesting bins. I have to clean them out. I haven't used them in a couple of months. That's my sister, who does not help at all with the program. Whatever. She barely holds the rats. She comes in here and talks to them and thinks that's enough. Feed them a noodle if you want to do something. Okay, and my rat's addiction. This is what my girls love. They love ramen noodles. No, Brent. They love ramen noodles and popcorn. They also get everything I get for dinner. If you look in the boys' cage, you see a plate. We had veggies, chicken, and then some macaroni and cheese with sausage in it, and they got everything. Hot dogs, and they got everything that I had in it. We're too poor for sausage. My rats get everything I get. I'm starting the breeding program and the rescue. Like I said, I'm starting the breeding program and the rescue. I do have people donating. I have a website. I'll post a link below. It's Jelly's Lovable Ratties .weebly.com. There you can find adoption papers, the adoption prices per rat. I'm working on getting my pet breeder's license. I sent the paperwork in about 3 weeks ago, so I'm hoping to get confirmation back sometime soon, fingers crossed. I'm also setting up a breeding and membership with the American National Fancy Rat and Mouse Association, so I can read through them and have show quality rats. So I'll be able to breed show and pet rats. If you're interested in getting a rat, even though I don't have any pups up for adoption, I should have some in the next couple of months. I'd say about 6 to 7 weeks. Like I said, I'm getting some from a friend that are about 2 weeks old. There's 20 of them, so I do need people to adopt. Other than that, if you want a true hairless Rex litter, you're going to have to wait. The Rex and the male and female I'm getting are from 2 different breeders that deal together. They are both about 5 months old. I'm going to wait until I can handle them properly before I breed them. That's a big thing with me. I have to be able to pick up the pups about the time they open their eyes. I give it about 2 weeks, and then I start handling the pups. So they're handled basically from birth. It's a big thing for me because I want to be known as the crazy rat lady that if you get a rat from it, a 6-year-old child could handle. So, it's not going to jump out of that kid's hands, and it's not going to bite that kid. Of course, you're going to have supervision with your kid. I do have an application form I request that you fill out if you're going to adopt one of my rats. As well as I sell homemade hammocks, like the ones in the boys' cage. They're pretty simple. It's for one, the boy size, which will fit 3 to 4 male rats, is $4. The smaller one is $3. The biggest one I sell is $6, and it's pretty big. I mean, it's this big. There's really no need for it unless you're getting it for a ferret. Which the boys have one in their cage down below. Other than that, I rescue basically any small animal, guinea pigs, ferrets, rats. Of course, I have the capability alone with these 2 cages to have 15. Plus, I have 2 more cages, and the friend I'm getting it from is giving me all her cages. So, I do have a job. I work about 3 to 4 days a week. Now that's a weekly job, and then I'm getting a job as a CNA. I'll only work about 6 hours a day, so I still do have the time to spend with my animals. I'm usually off. If I do get this job, I will be off by 2 o'clock at the latest. The only days I will not be available for you to come see babies or anything like that is Thursdays, because I won't be home until after 6. Other than that, weekends, Sundays, I'll be open to do viewing, but it'll have to be after 12-ish. Saturdays, any day as long as you email me beforehand that you want to come and look at a baby or anything like that. And I do recommend, if you're a first-time owner, that you get more than one. And I will not sell unless you get more than one, unless you've got the time to spend with a rat. They are very needy creatures. They need at least 4 hours a day minimum with your attention to them. So if you don't have that kind of time to spend, I don't recommend getting one. I recommend getting 2 at least. And of course, the adoption fee, with it being if I have true hairless and you get 4 girls, I'm willing to work with the adoption fee and not make you pay $40 for 4 girls. I'm willing to work with the amount of fee with the amount of rats you get. Also, do not include in the adoption, but would like to know if you're going to breed them and what you're going to breed them for. If you're going to breed them for pets I do need to have an established relationship with you. If you're going to breed them for feeders, I'd prefer you not to because they are pets. But if you're going to breed them for show or pets, I do need to have an established relationship. Like coming over and seeing them once a week, something like that for 6 months. Emails back and forth before I will consider letting you breed. Especially if you're getting a male and female from me. Those are the requirements, and I will eventually on my website, when I get more established, have a breeder's application, and if it's denied, it's denied. You can reapply for it in 6 months. I will upload a video tomorrow, guys. Bye.